We're talking about the DXC2 from Fatius Extruders today, and so I've had it for about 100 per hours now, something like that. So we're going to talk about insulation and the features and everything. So we can see here. So the first thing to notice is, yes, it is magnetic. It does just snap right into place and just clicks in. You can just pull it off just like that. That's the main feature from this. It's a lot easier to clean clogs. You can see the filament path and you can see the cutter and everything and replace it. You don't have to spend 15 minutes taking apart the extruder. I know it doesn't take that long, but you know, to each their own. One of the other main benefits is now you have an actual tensioning arm, and you can see here, you know, you can see it move. So, why is this great? This means you can set your tension for multiple extruders, or multiple filaments, I mean. The reason this is great is, you know, if you're running TPU, this will run up to, from what I've seen, was TPU 70A. I normally run, I believe mine's like 80, something like that. So that gives you a idea of, you know, what you're able to run with this. And you don't have to print any mods for it. It does come with the new riser, which is printed. Of course, this was before I calibrated everything. I do recommend running flow calibrations after you install this. I did a full calibration checking rotational distance, and that came back normal, so I didn't adjust anything there. But you do also have dual gears here. So you have two gears on the inside that are dual driven, as you can see back here, driven by this piece back here, and that helps keep tension on the filament and makes it better for TPU, so it doesn't clog up and everything. Alright, so let's talk about insulation. What I gotta do? So you'll take the original extruder off. You'll remove a screw here, and a screw on this side. You'll pull this panel off. Now there's bolts here and here that may be on your extruder. My extruder did not have it bolted to the extruder motor, was not bolted to my backing plate. Don't know why that was, don't know if it's supposed to be like that. So you may have bolts here and there. So in the supplied kit, you will get these two bolts that are right there, and you will get your cutter and your self-tapping screw for your mount. And let's go ahead and release the motors on this so I can pull it and you can actually see. But we'll pull it forward and lift up, and you can actually see the extruder there. Now, as you can see, I do not have a riser here. You can see once I clip it in, you can see the bend that I'm getting, and I even trimmed this down a bit. But after that insulation, you'll reinstall the new plate and make sure it's level and everything, and reinstall your cutter sensor and your filament detector on the back side. I don't know if you can see, but the filament detector is right to the back side, and it comes through this little hole here. How it detects filament is through this little nub here. This little nub clicks right in. I don't know how it reads, how there's filament and not. There is no CFG changes for that. I don't know. But it does work. So once you get that installed, you'll install the riser. You'll have to remove an end link here, so it clips into the riser here, and then you will be able to install this front cover, and just like I said, it just clips in. Now, talk about some issues. I have not run into some of these issues. First one is this PTFE tube. Sometimes we'll cut the PTFE. I'm running star tubing. The star tubing seems harder than the original PTF that I was using. That may help with this issue. The other issues, cutter. Now, it requires you to make some CFG changes, and we'll go over those in a minute. But the cutter sometimes does not cut, and the reason for that is if you look at it, it is a rounded style blade here versus the original Creality one, which is not rounded at all. It is a flat blade. Sometimes it doesn't cut all the way through, and you have to change your distance, your clipping distance. Now, I have one of the spacers on here for this. You can find them on printables. It's just a K2 cutter arm spacer. I use that. I've used it since the beginning of having the K2. It was one of the first mods I printed with the K2. That, I think, helps me. I do have retraction issues sometimes, but I've always had retraction issues. I don't think it's due to the cutting. I have played with the distance a little bit and changed it. So there is that, but we'll go over the CFG changes and everything else. All right, so now we're going to go over the CFG changes. So this is mainsail. I've changed my printer over to mainsail. There's a D&D. Somebody has the workaround for it once you root your printer. I just like mainsail better because it's what all the enders use. So we'll go into machine, and should be pretty much the same on fluid. And we will look for motor control, and we will scroll down until, or it may have been up top here. Yeah, cut position offset. It will be at 0.4. You can change it, and it will move the cutter over. When you that way, it will move the cutter over. That way, it will make sure it completes the cut. You'll have to do it a couple times to make sure the cutter isn't too far over, but so don't do it a huge number. I settled with 0.2, and that was okay for me. Everybody's cutter will be different. The other one is in box CFG. You will have to change your TN retrude to -20. But if you try to do it without commenting this out, which is you can do with just a hashtag here, it will not save, and it will reset it back to the way it was. So there's that one, and then there's another one. It's motor control again, I believe. I want to say yes. Can't remember off the top of my head. I just did these this morning. It's the G-code macro. You will scroll down until you find quit material, retrude material. So it'll be this line right here. It will say E10, E-10 beforehand. Change that to -40. This is how much filament it pulls up, so it makes sure it clears past the gears before it cuts. So you have changed how much it needs to retract. So you want to make sure it gets a nice grip on it. And that's all you have to do here. Now, once you get this set and done, you're going to want to run a full calibration. Make sure you run the cutter calibration, run your input shaper, all that stuff. Make sure all that's good. You should be able to pass the cutter calibration. If you don't do the cutter calibration, you could possibly have it not cutting the filament. But from here, you can check your rotational distance. I know some people don't know how to do it. You use one of these, or just cut off 120 millimeters of filament, and you will extrude using the extruder here. and you will set it for 100 millimeters at 5 millimeters a second, and you will extrude that. If your rotational distance is good, you will have 20 millimeters of filament left. If you do not have 20 millimeters of filament left, you can then go into this. You can go into your printer CFG, and you can scroll down to extruder, and right here you will find your rotational distance, and that changes what you need or what all you've got. You'll need this for a converter, and then you can go row. Don't mind my spelling. I'm kind of. Why did I hit caps? I'm tired. And you can find a rotational distance calculator. The one I was using was this one. Or no, this was the wrong one. It is it this one? No. May have been this one. Yeah, it was this one. You put in, most of them are a 1.8 degree stepper, 16 micro steps, your current rotational distance, and then it will show you what it is. So mine was mine was 6.9. That's not right. See, you got to be careful. Some of these, I think it was TH. Yeah, this was the one. So current steps is 6.9. Current steps millimeter. Oh, this is just a set for what your current steps would be. So like if you had 233, it would be a rotational distance of 13 things. So this is converting from E-steps to regular style things, and they show how to do all this, and you can show how your extruded distance is and what it's not. It also has the gear ratio. It shows you how to do all this. Now, once you do the DXC2, you're going to want to recalibrate your filament with your flow and your pressure advance, and you're going to want to dial them back in. You should technically be able to push a faster volumetric speed as long as you're not outrunning the nozzle. Especially with the dual gears, you're not going to slip. But yeah, that is just something that you want to keep in mind. Some of the prints I'm getting off of this, this is with no flow calibration. This is just generic PLA that I'm using, and it works really well. Here's another one that didn't do so well. I'm having a little bit of it looks like under extrusion, so I'm gonna change my nozzle and see if that fixes it. But yeah, I am getting a lot more consistent first layer. I am still having some issues, but you know, that is my bed, and as you can see, it is warped to hell. But I'm one of the few people that doesn't have an RMed bed that has, you know, a 0.3 bed, so I'll take it. So yeah, I recommend it. I haven't had any major issues with it. I will report on it if I have any other issues or if I figure out how to fix them. A lot of people are having issues with the cutter not cutting correctly on color changes. I haven't had that issue, so take it with a grain of salt. If you need anything, reach out to me. I'll be sure to give you some help, whatever I can do. But until then, be savage.